All right, hello everybody, welcome back. This is another episode of Butt Crack Cycles. This is my YouTube channel. My name's Paul, and pretty much this channel is about older Harleys like this bike sitting right in front of us. This is my shovel head, hopefully getting this in camera. This episode today is something new for me. I've been wanting to try and do like some moto vlogs where basically I just grab one of my bikes, go ride around, and we talk about a subject, you know, in the greater Harley world or motorcycle world, but pretty much Harley stuff. Yeah, and I've been wanting to do this for a while. I've had a hard time getting good quality audio on my GoPro, but I think I've finally gotten it figured out. And so this will be the first one, so y'all let me know if you like this format of video. This is just something I want to try to maybe get 2 videos out a week. We'll stick with our usual Sunday videos for, you know, working on bikes and fixing bikes and the business of, you know, that I have buying and selling and fixing these old motorcycles. And then maybe do these like on Wednesdays where I just kind of ride around and talk. So without any more talking, let's go ride and talk. Should I kickstart this thing? It's pretty cold. I cranked it up for a second to move it. I don't know. Let's try it. Everybody likes a kickstart. 1, 2, 3, let's go. Oh, I almost had it. Let's try again. Oh, there we go. Get it up on the compression. Nope. Third time's a charm. All right, so yeah. This episode is going to be about choppers and kind of, you know, what exactly is a chopper. I have said before in the past that I consider this bike like my chopper. And we're going to talk about that. And before we get too far into this, I just want to say that these little videos that I'm planning on doing like this, where we're just riding around motovlogging, just talking, these are simply my opinions. I'm not trying to redefine anything. Nor am I trying to convince you that what I'm saying is right. This is really just me talking and hopefully opening up the discussion for others where y'all can leave comments about whatever it is I'm talking about. Alright, so this bike is obviously my Frankenstein shovel head. As best as I can tell, it's a 71 engine in a 74 frame with like a 79 or 80 model front end. When I bought this bike, it had big FL style tanks on it, and it had turn signals and full ignition switches on the handlebar controls. I've been working on this thing for like a year and a half to get it to where it's at, and its sort of current configuration is how you see it and saw it at the start of this video. It's fairly stripped down, but we still have hydraulic brakes. We have front brakes and a hand clutch and one small mirror, and probably most noticeably about this bike is that it still has a swing arm. And I know a lot of people have some pretty strong opinions about, can you have a chopper with a swing arm? My opinion is yes, but I regularly have people leave me comments about, you know, chopper
shops and stuff, and they're building bikes that are like way cooler than this, way more custom than this, or maybe what you're building. Don't get discouraged, you know. Build what you want, make it cool. So yeah, if you're building a bike, don't get so hung up on it has to have a raked front end and no front brakes and a hardtail to be a chopper. I think really, you know, it's about the spirit of the bike. If you're building it